Hi, I'm James with British Customs. Today we're going to install our shotgun exhaust on this 2022 Scrambler 1200 XE, and our slash cut shotgun exhaust fits exactly the same, so you can follow the same instructions. First, we want to start by removing our heat shields using our 5mm Allen hex bit. Next, we want to loosen up our two clamps here using our 5mm Allen hex bit. Next, we want to remove the mounting bolts back here. You got two bolts coming, one on the top and one coming this way from under there, using our 12mm socket. So now we got the next one in here, still with our 12mm. So now we need to pull this back. You want to kind of wiggle it around a little bit. It'll start to come. And just want to be supporting it real well, that you don't pull it too hard out and scratch the paint or anything. Now we're going to remove this grommet here, because we're only going to be mounting to the top and you'll end up losing this somewhere. So we have two different length pipes here. The shorter one goes on the bottom and the taller one goes on the top. I want to put the bottom one on first because that's going to end up on the bottom. So when we put our clamp on, we want to have it oriented so we're going to be screwing it in from the top to the back, and that'll keep it nice and clean where you don't have the screw sticking out in the front here or anywhere. So slide it on. You don't need any gaskets for this. It's a nice tight fit once it's clamped down and will not leak. So when this is installed correctly, this should be resting right on top of the mounting bracket here, flat and flush. Now again, we want to install our clamp so that the screw is facing up. Slide that in. Line it up on the back. Okay, so it may be necessary to pull on these a little bit to get it to all line up. And then with our 6mm Allen hex bit, we're going to put the supplied bolt from the kit. Before you tighten this down, you want to make sure everything's even in the back here. If it's not, you may have to push in or pull out on one of the pipes. So now with our 5mm Allen hex bit, we're going to come in from the top, tighten up this clamp. So when you tighten up this clamp, you want to make sure it's not on the header pipe here. You only want it on the slip-on, because if you tighten it on there, it's not going to tighten down on here, and then that pipe will be loose. So make sure you have a little gap in between there. So you only want to go so tight that it's nice and firm and you can't move it, but you don't want to keep cranking down on it because you can actually break these welds if you go too tight, and the whole band will be worthless then. So now we'll do the front one, same thing. If you notice on the front, we have a little more of a gap here. Every pipe's going to be slightly different, and that's what it took to keep the back nice and flush. If we push that in all the way, then the tailpipes will be not flush in the back and it won't look good. It's still going to seal just fine right there. Again, don't make it too crazy tight. You don't see me breaking out the biggest wrench I have. Now we're going to install our heat shield. You have 2 layers of heat shield here. So make sure the holes are lined up. I'm going to start by just going in on an angle there. And then let's get the back one in to hold it up. All right, so these are the stock screws we're putting back in here. And we need to align 3 holes here because you have this heat shield and the 2 heat shields here. Sometimes you gotta just maneuver this one around, really pull on it a little bit more. So using your 5mm Allen hex bit, start screwing in. Okay. And now we can final tighten both of them. Okay, and that's it. And that's it for the shotgun exhaust. Fire this up.